Hi, everyone. This is Deanna Fenton, and I want to welcome you to this week's episode of Simple Steps to Online Success. Kajabi also works on other things behind the scenes, and a lot of that has to do with a little thing called UX and UI. So it's techie speak. We all love our acronyms, and UX stands for the user experience and UI stands for the user interface. So frequently, Kajabi will be working on things that they have determined or they have received as feedback from people like us to make the dashboard itself and the functionality of doing certain repetitive tasks easier or more obvious in some cases. So the first one is one called the product admin. And if you go into settings, so down in the left-hand corner, settings where all of your site settings are, you now have something called labs. And labs is the way that Kajabi can show you what is currently being worked on. Not everything. Now, I'm telling you, not everything is under this labs, but these are some of these unreleased features that you can play with. So the first one I mentioned is the product admin experience, and it's talking about how we create and manage our products. Those of you that have been using Kajabi, you know very well how you create a product. So these are my demo accounts, and this is what the product creation layout looks like. So now let's activate under labs, under settings, labs, product admin experience. And down in the bottom, there's a green pop-up that says activated features. So this is the proposed new user interface for a product. And I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be perfectly honest. And I guess this is an advantage. You can sort by newest, oldest, recently updated, most members, least members, A to Z, Z to A, or library order. I don't even know what that is, but here we go, library order. There we go. And here in the library, it looks like we can do sorting. So this is one thing. Now, honestly, I think this is very user-friendly and a great idea. If you have a lot of products, or you want to make sure that a particular product, probably one that has the most members, for example, if you want to make sure that appears first in the library, holy cow, you can now drag and drop it. If you want to know the truth, I think that's pretty valuable, quite honestly. So you now have the option to sort how you want your products to appear in your members library. And if I go back, again, what we have as well is the ability, when we're going through this, is to be able to sort in however it makes the most sense for us. Either newest, oldest, recently updated, A to Z, whatever works best for you. So I just did A to Z, for example. Now this is what is also interesting. So I would click on this product now, and this is how I would set up and update the content of my product. And you can see it looks quite a bit different than the old version. It gives us some additional options here where you see your offers. You can see how many members own this product. And then with the more, here is where you would manage comments. You would publish your announcements, which I think is a very underutilized function in all Kajabi products, and it's super, super important. Viewing progress and the ability to clone that product if you wanted to create a new one and then perhaps change and update the content. What we have now is everything. We have, of course, our categories, which are like our modules. Those are listed with our posts underneath, but the default is everything is kind of closed up like this. So all I'm seeing are the 6 categories of this product. I can see right here for each category, I can edit it, I can preview it, and here is where I would add the content. But if I want to see the content that is currently under this category, I have to click expand on this drop down, and it is showing me all of the posts underneath. And if I want to add a new post, I click under Add Content. And then you have the option to expand all of it. So that way, every single category is showing the underlying posts. So, once again, this is just from a user interface perspective, trying to give us some more flexibility or more visibility and making it easier. And we have a nice, convenient little back to the top button that pops up, which is always nice. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to post the questions in the comments, and I will try and circle back and answer any questions that you have. So take care. I will look forward to seeing you again next week on Simple Steps to Online Success. Bye-bye.